You are precisely my cup of tea.
Whoops, we just went right into that one. Hey, guess what song I'm going to play at the end of all this? Oh, yeah, I might be that one. Hey, Dan RadioStyle. That's why we do this live, because I want you to see all the mistakes I make. It's just how it's supposed to be. It's how radio was when I used to do that. Anyway, that was coming in with Julie Andrews, Getting to Know You. And a beautiful song. So in this particular episode, Agnes and I, the first part's kind of an intro, sort of like our midpoint, if you will. We hit the hour mark, and initially we were just going to do an hour, and she's like, hey, so I booked an hour, basically. So we spent a little time kind of bantering back and forth, which is kind of fun, just getting to know each other a little better and asking questions so all of us can get to know her a little better. So that's kind of how that played out. And then we went out with some more really cool stuff about how kind of markers are very common in giving us direction on how to find our next steps, right? What's the next thing I should do? Trying to manifest someone specific. The same things kind of work. There's next steps. There's always, hey, maybe do this. Maybe write a poem. I don't know. Whatever's fitting. There's so many different options out there. So that being said, stick around. It's a pretty good one. And we'll be coming out with the song that I just played, like, I don't know, seconds ago. That's what we're going to be going out with. And yeah, we'll be right back.
It is. Now, Dan,
Yes.
just so you know, I've actually booked an hour and a half in case we needed it.
Okay.
So
yeah,
we're nearly at the hour.
Yeah, right about at the hour mark. Yeah, let's just keep going. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Hour and a half, solid. That's like, people, I'm lucky. I'm telling you, I get this much time with Agnes. I don't know. Now you've been
I
doing
get this much time with you too.
well. Thank you. Oh, you're a sweetheart. Look at that, and she put on lipstick.
I did. I scrubbed up for you, Dan.
You did. I love it.
You should have seen me
hatched
half
well
an hour
today.
ago.
Nice. Well, I did see you a half hour ago.
Oh,
I saw you an hour ago.
Well, yeah, that's right. But you know what? I looked back at that that one that we did when I was in Sydney, where I was wearing the green thing.
Yeah.
I had massive headaches when I was in Sydney, and I had chronic neck pain. I couldn't even sit up for that session. I didn't say anything, but I looked at that and went, "Oh my God, you got to scrub up. That just looks hideous. You got to put some effort in.
just a little, yeah.
Just hurry up and do something." So yeah,
that's awesome.
Just shattered that for that session. So
yeah, no. Now let me ask you this: are you like less allergies and that kind of stuff now that you're in a totally different climate, a different place, or is it? I mean,
no. It's funny you asked that. I used to have allergies for decades, really bad sinus, to the point where my nose would bleed. I don't get any allergies anymore about anything.
Nice. I mean, that's even when you were living in Australia?
No.
Okay. Nice.
Nothing. Not summer, not spring, not autumn, nothing.
Again, I think that's also a good indicator to people, too, when you really start to get your energies aligned, when you start to get things kind of figured out and you get less and less of this karma crap that we deal with.
Yeah.
It is amazing how our health actually will start to improve. Yeah. I mean, all sorts of different places. And, you know, you've done some very specific healing work in the past. And I think a lot of it probably tied into that, too. I mean, you just get your energy right. You got focused, and you certainly imagined. I mean, you did all these wonderful techniques, but I think a lot of it too was just kind of getting yourself rounded back out. You know, get that energy back where it should.
Yeah, but you know what? I think since I had my back injury, because I had a year off, I am incredibly disciplined because of that.
Wow. Okay.
Like the discipline, I do 2 meditations a day. I walk every day. I do yoga. I do little weights. You know, and then I do, you know, my YouTubes. I do, and then the thing is I can feel, because I'm working and doing a lot of stuff, giving to people. If my energy drops, I go, right, switch everything off. I lay on the bed. I recharge the energy. I do not let myself go down to zero.
Is there a reason why you're not telling all your listeners about your cage fighting and your MMA and all that kind of stuff? Because I don't know why we're leaving that out of the mix. Yeah, she walks twice a day, but she is a professional MMA cage fighter. How long ago was your accident?
November 2015.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been that long. Okay.
No, I literally, I literally spent, you know, I didn't actually stop working till January. I hurt myself setting up Christmas displays in November.
Right.
And then I felt something and I went, oh, that's not good. And I kept working, because at that time, if I didn't work, I didn't get paid.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought I'd have to at least, so I cut the work back from 5 to 4 days, from 4 to 3. It still didn't do me any good because I needed to completely stop. So
are you done with all that? Are you still kind of on the on leave or whatever, like where you have to check back in 6 months or anything crazy?
No, I know it's healed. I
Nice.
can totally tell. I healed it, meditation. I healed it with rest. I healed it with, physio exercise and sending love to the body. And, people always think because you have a back injury that you're stuffed for life. Well, that's not my belief.
I agree.
I just thought it was overstraining and it was repetitive strain injury. And I was angry because didn't get any help or enough help that day.
Right.
So I lifted something when I was angry. So of course
it was like a couch or something, right? Like something crazy.
Yeah, it was this big, heavy sort of buffet, and I had this skinny little person on the other end who wasn't pulling their weight literally. So I was carrying too much and trying to lift it up onto a stage.
Goodness.
So lifting it into this weird position.
Yeah.
And when you do things when you're angry, it's just never going to work.
Right?
You just pay the consequence.
So, just a fun little injury story for me. I was playing golf out of all, because, everyone knows golf is the most physically demanding sport that's out there. It's so tricky. I'm being sarcastic, of course, but I was in a sand trap and I was super angry and just swung with all my might without even lining up or anything and hit the sand, but my shoulder kept going and literally popped my shoulder. So now, I can't bat right-handed like in baseball or anything. Like, it pops my shoulder. If I hit the ball, it'll pop my shoulder out, and it's excruciating to say the least. So coming from anger and doing things with the body.
Not a good combination.
I'd recommend staying away from that. Not a good one.
Yeah, go and do something else. Yell in the car.
You know what? Maybe open up a thing of bubbles and just start blowing those, because you're going to hurt yourself if you do anything more solid than that.
Yeah.
Very
good. Not a good thing.
So we, when it comes to the signs and symbols that we often will find ourselves seeing, do you think there's any of that ever is maybe like a little more hidden, or maybe kind of like shining a light, maybe like go this way? Or do you think that because obviously it's coming from the standpoint of we're imagining some sort of outcome, so then certain things will show their way. Do you think that sometimes those signs are meant to be acted on? Like maybe it's there to remind you, hey, you need to pay that fine on Monday, or else, or hey, you need to call so and so. Or have you ever had any interesting ones happen to you? Like any?
I have. When I was, I remember at one point I was trying to work out whether to come to London, and I had there was a lot of components, like doing a course in London. It was at a specific date. It was on the 19th of January. And this was like, the 3rd or 4th of January. It was already the first week of January. And I was still, should I go? Shouldn't I go? This is a lot of money just to go and do a course for like 4 days. And then do I stay in London? I was trying to work out all this stuff. I was trying to work out money, timing, work, all this stuff. Anyway, I was in the car. And I just, I was in quite a bit of, do I, don't? And I just said, okay, right, I need a clear, unmistakable, obvious sign. Do I go to London before the 19th of January? So I'm driving, I'm at a red light. That's what I said from myself, inner self, show me now, what the heck do I do? 10 minutes later, I'm down the road, and red light, I see a billboard. And the billboard pops up, a taste of London. I'm in Sydney.
Nice.
And I went, okay. And then I'm still sitting there because the light's red, and it rolls and it says good to go. It was a Kentucky Fried Chicken ad.
Wow.
Why they're advertising London while I'm in Sydney, I have no idea. I still never to this. I booked the ticket within 2 days and I went. But it was so specific.
Right. And I'll tell you what, there's been a couple times, I don't know if I can come up with one off the top of my head, but there's been a couple times where I've actually had signs happen and I'm like, did anyone else see, like, did that, like in your case, did that same advertisement show for anybody else? Or was I the only one that saw that? Because there's been times where, like you said, something so bizarre, so outside of what
and
seems
it was within
fitting.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Of putting out this intense kind of, it needs to be now. I'm fed up. I need an answer. There's a deadline. I need to pay for the course. I need to pay for the flights. I need to get my shit organized. I need this answer now. And just this whoosh went out from me because I needed an answer then.
Well, and that's what's fun. I wish more of us could figure out, because I've done that too, where you, when there's so much emotion behind it and you're like, this has to happen now. Like, it's not that I'm trying to make it happen now. It's like in every ounce of my being, I'm like, this has to, universe, what's up? This has to happen now. Yeah. And it does. And it's just like, if we could create that emotion, and I don't know how we get our energy to that level. I wish that I could control that more because all you have to do is
when
just,
you're exasperated when it comes out. Yeah.
There's just that level of power. And I've done that with even my specific someone and getting her to comment back to me where it was like, I'm so frustrated. So many questionable things have happened that I'm now just so confused. It's like I need clarity. I need it now. I
need it now.
I can't get through this day without it. This is killing me, right? And that very answer comes, and it's truly, again, just to remind people that are going through, like, I'd like clarity or I'd like some sort of response from the universe. Ask. Just like what Agnes just said, like that's all you do. You just ask. Just say, please show me this. Thank you. Show me. It's higher self, universe, God, whoever you want to phrase it to. It's that easy.
And if you get something and you kind of go, oh, hang on a minute, was that? You just ask again. Say, look, it wasn't that clear.
Right. I need better.
I need the focus to tighten up.
Right.
Do it.
Yeah.
I need more clarity. Just keep asking. It doesn't, it's there for our
help
use.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's where it is a living universe. We are extremely connected to everyone, but on top of that, to the universe. I don't know what aspects of it that we are connected to. There's some energetics that happens with us and matter and universe and whatever. And it seems like we're able to hugely affect our surroundings. Yeah, exactly. And emotion pulls in answers. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And it's like, how many times have you kind of been stuck in that place where maybe you're frustrated or maybe you're in one of those places where you always see a certain behavior. And then immediately after you say that, you see that certain behavior. Yeah. It's the same thing. It can work in a negative. It can work in the positive. Universe doesn't care. Doesn't care what it's responding to us. It doesn't care whether it's good or bad, left or right. It doesn't give a crap. It's like, this is what you've been asking for. Here it is. You don't like it? Then try again. Start over. Exactly. I mean, that's almost why I think it's good that manifestations don't happen immediately for most of us. Exactly. Because we're not ready. Yeah. And you'd manifest all your random weird thoughts. Yeah, and your fears and crazy shit. Like, if you think every time you're like, spiders scare me, and then all of a sudden there's a giant tarantula. That wouldn't be good. No. No, exactly. Yeah, delay is actually a wonderful thing. And and I've actually found, and I've read too in a number of places, that from a spiritual standpoint, like, it's great when we get better and better at this, and you're able to manifest faster and faster as you kind of get your wheels turning, if you will. But when you fall off the wagon, if you will, and start getting negative, when you're a powerful machine, it almost like the universe quickly kind of puts the brakes on your abilities, because when you start spinning down that wrong path, you'll start jacking yourself quickly. Like, and it's like it'll back you way up and just be like, whoa, okay, you've fallen off the wagon. We need to get you back in line before we're going to give you the power again. So it is one of those things where the more we question, the more it slows us down. And it's just kind of the way the mechanics of this works. It's the universe protecting us. Like, frankly, if it's taking you a long time, it's probably doing you good. Because otherwise, who knows what crazy shit you'd manifest, frankly. Exactly. Yeah, that's a really good way of describing it. It's the universe protecting us with the delay. Or basically us protecting us, really, right? Yes, exactly. Because it is just us pushed out. That's exactly right. Well done, Dan. Hey, I've been paying attention. You're on it. I am. That's right. That's right. No, we've okay, so I'm kind of hoping you guys were all there with me on that, right? Not bad. I don't know. I think this was one of our better ones. We're going to be scheduling something again in July. I'm trying to look for a good weekend for us. I've got a couple nailed down that we're probably going to go for, so we'll see how it all plays out. But hopefully you enjoyed. Stay in Radio Style. If you would like to contact me by email, feel free to do so at danradiostyle@gmail.com. And you can also leave comments, of course. Always, I try to respond to everything as much as I can. It's fun. It gives me something to kind of do when, I've got things to do. It's a nice little distraction sometimes. Anyway, we're going out with Styx. Show me the way, right? Markers. Isn't that how you do this?
Show